I'm Mike Henderson, author of the novel A Beast in Venice. I'm going to answer a few of the questions that authors are often asked. Um, First one I think is very common is, where do you get your ideas? Ideas come from a lot of places. It can be just something I see, uh, something somebody does on the street, something somebody says. I could just see a person who sort of is an interesting, looks like it could be an interesting character. Um, you never know. The idea for Beast in Venice came from an article about skeletons, this skeleton found with a brick in its mouth that had been buried during the plague of 1576. They had put a brick in the skull and mouth of the skeleton to stop it from eating the other corpses, they thought it was doing, in which case it would rise from the grave as a vampire. Are you a panster or a plotter? Well, for those of you who don't know, a panster is somebody who writes by the seat of his pants. In other words, he doesn't plan it, he just sits down and starts writing. I don't know, maybe like a free thought or free association, as opposed to a plotter who plots everything out in great detail. I I'm basically a pantster. I start with an idea. I start with maybe a circumstance or situation that a character might be in, and then I plop a character or two into it and see what they do, um, and let the story develop from there. Um, Now that doesn't mean the story doesn't have structure. A lot of new writers or young writers, people who want to just sit down and write and let the creative juices flow, believe that they can write something that has no structure to it. And that's not the case. It's got to have the structure. It's just a matter of how you get the structure. So a plotter basically applies the structure first and then writes the story, and the master will write the story, and then we'll have to go back and kind of fit it into the structure in the rewrite process. So, but it seems to me that the result has to be the same, basically. But in that sense, but the um, uh, sort of writing it without the plotting, which to me is, torture. Uh, right, coming up with a detailed plot and a plan is torture. Uh, becomes much less organic. So I like the sort of the organic nature of writing that is done by the seat of the pants, if you will, and then you go back and mold it into the structure.